Why did you sell it?
To compete now with the new collective bargaining agreement, you see all these teams building real estate and casinos and all these big real estate empires. And I'm like, that's not me.
What if I told you that the Luka Doncic AD trade goes beyond what Mavs' Nico Harrison could pull off alone? Now, what if I told you that Mark Cuban, who said this, helped make this trade happen? But what if I told you again that it all ties to the NBA's dwindling ratings and ultimately more dollars? You see, all that talk about the Mavs being fed up with Luka's conditioning.
How have you compartmentalized the fact that people are questioning whether it be your conditioning or anything else?
That's fine. I've been questioned many times in my life. It's just another motive to be more prepared for myself.
Claiming AD's defense is the key to a championship, those stories are just the tip of the iceberg. But the central truth of everything I learned through my deep dive is that this trade was a total scam. Without wasting your time, here's the simplest summary of what actually happened.
Oh, this wasn't no players was involved in this decision. Yeah. This was billionaire business. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was at the top. This was the last 12 to 15 years, the players have decided, right, what we want to do. This was the owners, the governors, the billionaires deciding what they want to do. And so I looked at the business of the game. I said, okay, so the NBA, who everyone talks about, the viewership in America is down. We talked about on this show, the NBA is an international game. The NFL, this is where they at. We are here, but we international. And so our viewership, our money, our stars in the game today are all international players.
The term BRI stands for basketball-related revenue, and it's the whole money the NBA makes. You see, basketball is going global, and there's a new major market that's keeping the NBA going. And sadly, that market is not the US, it's China.
China. China
China has 600 million male internet phone users, and 90% of them regularly watch NBA. Now, that's almost 500 million Chinese guys who turn in to watch the NBA regularly. So, who cares about the 25% drop in American viewers when there's 500 million more people coming in? Giannis was probably joking when he said this.
Now that a European will be, I believe, the face of the Lakers. This is something new for Europe. It's never happened before. We had Pau Gasol. Obviously, he was a great player, and how was Vujovic? Great guy. One of my close friends, but I mess up his name all the time. Now it's I just love it. You know what I want? I want Luka to the Lakers. I want Jokic to the Knicks. I want all the Europeans to go to all the big markets.
But that's the reality of it. Basketball is going global, and for that to happen, superstars from different parts of the world need to be in big markets. But even if that was the case, why did it have to be Luka? And why was it done in the shadows? Lots of people really believe that the Mavs were tired of Luka's conditioning issues, and they thought AD's defense would be their ticket to a championship. This is what Nico Harrison is selling to us. But if you wanted your franchise's best player, who's 25 years old, out, why not go for, let's say, Giannis? At least then you get the defense and no injury problems. Now, of course, maybe the Bucks won't budge, but at least try. And if it doesn't work, at least the Mavs fans would know you aimed for the best. If not Giannis, then maybe Jokic. Like, if you compare this to the Rudy Gobert trade, it becomes clear that they could have secured better assets. But why AD? It's like saying you're trading a Ferrari for an old Mustang because you're worried about gas mileage. I mean, this is a trade that someone tried to pull in 2K and it got rejected.
Okay, let's see if this works. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, 2029 first round pick for Luka, Maxey, Kleber, Markieff Morris. There's no way this works. There's no way. You're asking me to give away a valuable asset when none of the assets I get back seem nearly as valuable. That's not happening.
Like they say sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction. Still, what's up with the timing? It's like they waited for the perfect moment when no one would see it coming. But you see, when Shaq said,
I have a theory that it's down because we're looking at the same thing.
Although the same thing he was referring to was the three-point game problem, regardless, the NBA heard him, just not the way he had it in mind. It's like the Joker and Batman said, no one panics until you introduce a little chaos. And boom, blows the people's minds, and so does the ratings. According to Basketball Forever on Instagram, the Luka Doncic trade could spike TV ratings by 50% locally and 20% internationally. Now, this would reverse the NBA's current 25% ratings dip for the 2024-2025 season.
I got so happy. I haven't been as excited about NBA basketball in a very long time, bro. First, I was in shock. I think I was still in shock when I woke up this morning. Yeah. Because we haven't seen this in a while. Yeah. Right? Not this and not at this level. Matter of fact, we probably never seen this, not at this level.
Not at this level.
And so, but I was so happy for the league, dog, because I'm like, oh, we about to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we about to all be excited.
But still, there's a question. Why to Los Angeles? I mean, this team gets a superstar every decade as the franchise player. So why not someone else this time? Well, according to the reports, the NBA ratings in 2023 were high because the big teams went far in the playoffs. You see, it's in the best interest of the NBA that teams like the Lakers do well in the postseason. That's where the money is, where the cameras are always rolling. Adam Silver has had a hand in this move. And there's also a fact that Luka's jersey sales in LA will be through the roof, thereby bringing in fans from Spain, Slovenia, and everywhere in between. So was that the real motive? Just more ticket sales?
The most shocking thing about this trade is a couple things. Number one, you never trade stars for stars.
But according to GM Nico Harrison, this NBA shocker of a trade started about a month ago over coffee. He also claimed he made the decision alone, without consulting head coach Jason Kidd. But even during his explanation, he couldn't come up with good excuses. And then there's Harrison's relationship with Lakers GM Rob Pelinka, which dates back to Kobe Bryant's Nike deal days. And what's with Rob Pelinka thanking Nico for the trade? But while this relationship facilitated the trade, it wasn't a be-all, end-all. The deal was also a chess move by NBA's Adam Silver, and it's also a move by the billionaires who just happened to own the Mavs at the right time to pull off such a move. You see, in as much as Mark Cuban cherished Luka on the Mavs, he was the one who brought in Nico Harrison, who's had issues with aspects of Doncic's game for years. From firing Doncic's trainers to trading away close pals like Dorian Finney-Smith. And only God knows how many times he mentioned Luka's defensive lapses during that press conference. So what does Cuban do after bringing in such a GM? He sells the team to a billionaire family who's got no love for not only Luka, but the game itself. Why? First off, you should know that the new owners have deep pockets in Vegas, and they don't mind moving the franchise there. And yes, Cuban loves that idea. Apparently, the new owners, the Adelson family, had also put in $750 million into moving the NFL Raiders to Vegas to build a new stadium, but pulled out. So, the Mavs are their next target. Now, the problem for these billionaires is Texas. Texas ain't into gambling, but Vegas is. So why not bring Vegas to Dallas or take Dallas to Vegas if need be? Last year, they tried to persuade Texas to legalize gambling, but it never worked. So, what's next? Since Texas won't play ball with gambling laws, could they find a way to make the city an offer she can't refuse? Imagine you're a billionaire and gambling is your bread and butter. Why wouldn't you want to sort of Las Vegas Mavericks and turn games into gambling events? But how does this trade help them achieve that? Well, if Luka's gone, attendance might drop in Dallas, and it has already started to happen.
Some Mavs season ticket holders say that they've been offered refunds in the wake of the Luka trade.
Ticket reps from the team have been flooded with complaint calls in recent days.
Now, if they make the push in legalization to get Texas to legalize gambling and they refuse, they can decide to move the Mavericks home to Las Vegas, and the NBA wouldn't be able to refuse either. It's like what happened with the Oakland A's. Make the city's fan base sad enough, and you've got your excuse to relocate where there's more cash to be made. Also, don't forget that Luka is a major asset for Nike, and Nico Harrison has a 19-year career at Nike. Now, that's another reason why LA was the chosen destination for Luka. Such a move aligned with Nike's interests. And as for the Lakers, they stand to gain not just Luka's offensive skills, but his jersey sales. Meanwhile, the NBA wins the international market with more viewers. Like Wade said, this is the move of the billionaires. Imagine the NBA in Vegas, with teams drawing in tourists, gamblers, and fans in droves. It's not just about one game, it's about the future of the league, making basketball a part of the entertainment capital of the world. So, while fans in Dallas are left heartbroken, the business side of the NBA remains the big axe that continues to grind hard. But if any or all of this is true, does it mean LeBron had nothing to do with it? About this trade, LeBron James said he was blindsided. But come on. LeBron's been the puppet master of Laker moves for years. Among his recent exploits was him making JJ Redick happen and getting his son into the league. And he's even blocked trades that didn't suit his vision, like the trade for DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield. So him being out of the loop? Well, here's the thing.
Hey Ron, you've been very vocal about, owning a team in Las Vegas in the near future. Are you excited to see the atmosphere this week?
Yeah. Absolutely.
LeBron openly talked about wanting to own a team in Vegas. So yes, he fits the profile. He's a billionaire, he has a stake in a major team, and he wants gambling too. With Luka in LA, LeBron is not only passing the torch as the face of the franchise, he's also positioning himself as the go-to guy when Vegas decides it wants an NBA team. This trade isn't just changing rosters, it's setting the stage for a whole new era in the NBA. With Luka in LA, the NBA's landscape shifts, markets change, and the league's direction might just take a Vegas turn. Regardless of what and who's actually behind this Luka trade, the vibe is clear. This is the worst trade in NBA history. Worse than the Paul George deal. Worse than Gobert's move. And yet, it feels deliberate. The shock generates buzz. That buzz leads to more views. I mean, already Ant-Man, like many people, are so hyped about the next Mavericks versus Lakers match.
I'm excited to see the first time the Lakers play Dallas in Dallas. I'm super excited to see that. Oh my God. It's in a few weeks. If we not playing, I'm buying front row tickets to that.
And with the buzz surrounding non-US based players, it pushes the narrative that the NBA is global. Now, a global market where gambling is legalized completely means only one thing: more Benjamins. But beyond the business, this trade could be about legacy. Is Luka the next Kobe or next MJ? With LeBron's era winding down, is it time for the next face of the NBA to be a non-American? Let us know your thoughts about this entire trade in the comments. And speaking of when Kobe took the torch from MJ, check out our deep dive on that historic game next.